Hi, my name is No Shed, some of you guys know me as Siobhan. This is Spurs Video Podcast. First of all, I'm going to wish you guys a happy Easter. Hope you've had loads of chocolate and I don't know what else you guys eat, hot cross buns. And I hope you guys enjoyed the weekend. It was a real dream weekend. Us winning away at Swansea and Chelsea losing away at Southampton. And now we've leapfrogged them, and they play as a quarterfinal replay on Monday, and it's just crazy, you know. Obviously, it's great to have Lennon and Bale back. We all knew Bale could cross. We all knew Bale could shoot, and he had pace for days. But the link play, just that beautiful little give and go. Obviously, we saw it against United, but the way they did it against Swansea was beautiful. And Vertonghen, he showed better touch as a central defender than Addy has shown as a striker all season, I think. The confidence, the assuredness. It wasn't obviously the best, It was, it was kind of, when you look at it again, alright, you can tell he's not 100% comfortable with it, but, when you compare that to the chance that Addy had, the skill, it was much harder to do what, Vertonghen did. But, and then obviously, he plays a favour, and then absolutely definite touch. And Gareth Bale, and then we're 2-0 up. We seem to be in the ascendancy. We seem to be up for it more. They often say that, change is as good as a rest. Well, the international break, what a difference a week makes, or two in this case. The international break was just what we needed, I think. We were. I'm not saying we'd have lost the last game. Would Lennon been back fit? I don't know. Is the honest answer. I'm not a Spurs insider, but when he's on, and like I said, I don't think Lennon had an amazing game, but just knowing that the team, Swansea had to, deal with him, had to deal with Dembele coming up the middle, had to deal with Bale coming up wherever. Sigurdsson, all right, didn't play brilliantly, but he put a shift in. Obviously he's better, I think, playing in the middle. And to Van der Vaart's credit, when he did see Swansea getting back into the game, he did change it around, put Lennon Bale back out on the left, put on Holtby, had him behind the middle. It was a fantastic performance. Kyle Walker, everyone's really slating him, but I don't think he played that badly. I don't remember them doing that much like that, down our left hand, down our down the right flank. Down the left flank, I think we were exposed. And people will say, oh, that's because he had Sigurdsson in front of him. He didn't do a good job. There's a cross, but I can't remember, I can't pronounce his name, Tiendali. And the cross comes in. It's a peach of a cross. But if you look how Carl Norton's actually stood, they've got three up front. We have four defenders. But those three players have three defenders to pick them up. So if you look at where Carl Norton is, he's way too close. He should be at least 20 yards out to his left. I'm not saying he would have stopped Tiendali, who I think played very, very well, but at least it makes it harder for him to put the cross in. Now, I know he's not a natural left back, but he's played there for Norwich. I've got to wonder why they played him instead of Benny. I don't know what that was all about. The only reason I can presume, I think, is Benny obviously had to go to Africa as part of the international break. Maybe he's fatigued. It's kind of obvious. It's not a bad idea resting him. I mean, I don't know how far Belgium. I think Belgium had to travel that far, really, did they? Neither did obviously Gareth Bale. I think he probably was still in Swansea. After the international break. So all in all, even JD, even though he'd gone to Montenegro, we didn't really have any players playing for England that you thought, oh, these guys are going to be fatigued. So that, I think, it really helped to our favour. And if we had a FIFA virus, please let us, if it makes us play like that, like the first half, then last 40 minutes, I hope it's contagious. I hope we have it again against Basel. Or Basel, I don't know how you pronounce it. I thought people have a go at Dawson saying, oh, Michu had way too many chances. the difference is, and I'm not going to go for Friedel. Brad Friedel made a beautiful reaction save when they took a very quick free kick. But he will come for crosses. He'll come and attack. And Lloris will do that. Brad Friedel will not do that. He doesn't come off his line. He doesn't command his box the way, and by box I mean goal, penalty area. He doesn't command his penalty area the way, say, Hugo Lloris does. Hugo Lloris will come in, he'll put a punch in, and so it makes you rethink how you take your corners. And look, was I defending good? Probably not. Was it a corner? Most probably not. But I don't begrudge Swansea, a goal back in, because I think they deserve to pull a goal back. I thought they played very, very well. Tiendani especially was very, very impressive, and I just thought that, and the balance in play, we just about deserved it. Obviously, Michael Laudrup said, "Oh, it's a one-man team." That's rubbish. All he said was that I thought we're just about equal, but they had but the quality of Bale, just helped. Really gave them the edge, and I think how's that a lie? Bale, let's face it, set up one, scored one, and then saved, and using his arse managed to block the equaliser. If that, that I think kind of gives him the edge of man of the match over Jan Vertonghen. But I thought what I loved about it is when he scored, he did the old whoosh. So either he's heard the Super Jan jokes or whatever, but it was just, and when he does that, I don't know, because I've seen him do it before on a GIF, and I don't know if he's hearing the Super Jan, as that's they called him in Holland. For any Dutch fans that that saw him as a part of Ajax, Dutch Spurs fans, and please, apparently we are connected. We both have strong Jewish links and both get slated for it. So, if you are, I'm hoping if you're, and hopefully, given how the season may end, if we get in the Champions League, I think we might have a few more Ajax players joining us. So yeah, Mark Lawrenson. I watched Football Focus on Saturday, and before the game, and Mark Lawrenson said he think we're a striker short, and I don't. You know what? We are a striker short. JD's been injured, and yes, he had that good run of games, but and I think he did test for him. I'll give him that. He did test for him, but I think a combination of rust. He wasn't that great. But Adebayor, I don't think he was terrible. I know some people say, "Oh, he's 2 out of 10, 1 out of 10." He did his job, but he can do so much more. Because I see him and he's jogging. Now Berbatov did that. Berbatov did that all the time. But when Berbatov had the ball, the quality, what he could do with that ball was amazing. Now, Adebayor is 6'3", 6'4". He's a big guy, and he's pretty quick. And apparently, according to Michael Dawson, if you ever watch that teammates section, he's got really great feet. I just don't know where it's gone. The application, the effort's not there. People used to call Pav lazy, and Pav was really frustrating because you knew he could be so much better. I don't know if Addy's a new Pav, but you just know he can do much better because we've seen it. We saw it for Arsenal, we saw it for City, and we saw it for us last season, and we saw it at Real Madrid. I just don't know why we're not seeing it now. And everyone will say because he's got the contract. I don't know. I really think, I actually would like to see him, given him a whole pre-season. And if he's still playing terribly, then I'll say, look, do you know what? You're gone. Because first of all, I think we'll find it very difficult to shift him anyway, because he's on, 170 grand a week something, and I think Man City are paying for like 80 grand of that or something, some stupid crap like that. Either that or I don't know how the deal worked out, but because at the end of the day, it says something about a player that goes from 25 million to 5 million. Now I know he had 2 years left on his contract, but for me personally, I was always a little bit, I wouldn't say wary, but because I thought he was superb. I thought, definitely, you saw him, you knew the quality he had. If he put the shift in and he was motivated, for me, he reminds me a little bit of Ginola, I think. David Ginola, or David Ginola, as many of us used to call him. Great player, very talented. And I always thought that he would play a bit more for himself than he did the team. I think 97-98, he was desperate to get into the France World Cup squad, didn't get into it. 98 and 99, he wanted to show, he was kind of pissed about it. He had a fight, he had fire in his belly, had that amazing season. Then afterwards, I don't know, he kind of lost a bit of his touch. He just wasn't playing well anymore. And we ended up selling him on, and even then, John, I forgot the guy at Aston Villa, he questioned his desire and ethic and work ethic. And I'm not saying, I just think the work ethic, that desire isn't there. And if you haven't got the desire, look, there are some players who are real tryers. I mean, if you took Scott Parker's work ethic and you put it in Adebayor's, physical body, and apply that to his talent, he wouldn't be playing for us. He'd be playing for, I don't know, Real Madrid or something. That's how good Adebayor can be. Do I want him out at the end of the season? I don't know. I personally would feel that we do need to get strikers in, and that's, in terms of priority, it's got to be strikers, midfield playmaker, and then roughly third equal. I'll go with cover for the wings and cover the fullbacks. I actually like Benny. I do. I think Benny can be a little bit crazy and insane in the Wembley, but he has some, because he doesn't look to boot it out. He loses a bit of skill. He looks for a pass. I think one of the things we've got is, first of all, we're playing a new formation. He's been injured for most of the year, most of the season, so he hasn't really had a chance to get the grips with this new formation. We have had to change a lot of it because we don't keep possession as well as we used to last season, because purely we haven't got the players we had last season. I mean, Luka and Rafa. I mean, look, Bale is superb. 90% completion of passes, but argue this. Apart from that very, very good pass to Adebayor and some interceptions here and there, did he have a real barnstorming game? No. He's a great player, graceful, agile, supremely gifted, but he's been a long season. He's been on international as well. I still think if we can get the right person alongside him, obviously we had that with Sandro, and if we can get the right playmaker, a Lucas style player, then who knows? I think we can be capable of much more. Obviously, I'm very glad to get the win and against Swansea, and obviously we've got Basel coming up. For me personally, it's going to be difficult. I mean, who do you play? Obviously, the temptation would be, I know one of the guys, Steve Giles, is a big Spurs fan. He goes, well, you want to win everything. And don't be wrong, I want to win the Europa League. I think you've got to be in it to win it. But at the same time, it's £50 million, Champions League. It's keeping Bale and even attracting some really, really good players. I'm not saying sacrifice it. I think do we have the best squad? No. I mean, strikers, we have absolutely nothing in terms of strikers. But I think if we can, I don't think we've got a terrible team. And again, yes, Orps, James Wilson, everyone. I'm going to talk about Tom Carroll. I think the kid deserves a chance. I will play him and Jake Livermore in that double pivot, in that 2, and then in the 3. I'm not sure when Clint Dempsey's back, and I would really like to know when he is going to be back. But if we can play Gareth Bale, obviously we're at home. It would be nice to get a decent lead. If Clint Dempsey isn't back, then I would play Gareth Bale, Lewis Holtby, and Sigurdsson just out on the right. And up front, I'd have Adebayor. Back for Kyle Walker. I'd bring back Corker into the squad. Possibly Jan Vertonghen as well. I think I actually will be tempted to make him skip for the night. I know technically it probably should be Bale, because he's obviously been at the club the longest, but Jan Vertonghen is a former Ajax captain, and I think he's a leader on the pitch. And Benny, and obviously it's not great news. Hugo Lloris being injured, we have to play Brad. And I like Brad, and I think as deputies goes, there are worse deputies to have. Far worse. I think. Look, I'm not going to rate Slate Carlo Catticini. I don't think he was terrible, but I think Brad Friedel. If you look at the way he keeps himself in shape, his diet and everything, I think he's a solid player. And I think Benny, Kyle Walker, because naturally I think if we put Bale on the left, that gives Kyle Walker a bit more room to go over. Sigurdsson, he'll trap back, and Kyle Walker's got the pace there. Well, if he does it quite out, if he can, at least he can make up for it. So that's how I do it anyway. But here's an interesting thing. We've been talking this thing on spursforum.co.uk, there's a plug, about who are the 3 most important Spurs players. Predictably, Bale was obviously one of them. Lennon was the other. And here's an interesting one. A lot of us were split between Dembele and Lloris. I couldn't make up my mind. And I still can't, because I think Dembele, when he's on fire, he is such a driving force in midfield. And I'd even be tempted to play him, instead of Livermore, and I'd actually play Carroll and then Bale. I like Jake Livermore. I think he's a decent player, but he's very much a Jenner style player. He's got loads of energy, and there was, I mean, he can pass a little bit, but I think he needs to go out and loan next season and to really find out who he is as a player. Obviously, we want homegrown players to do well. I think there's that nostalgic thing about wanting homegrown players to do well. It doesn't always work out that way, but I'm hoping he does. And the lads from Enfield, like myself. Up front, Addy, you have to give this guy chances. I think he does. On paper, I remember last season when he was with us, and basically said, look, he's better than all three others. This is when we had Pav and JD, and I think who else did we have? I can't remember who else was there. I think we only had 3 strikers, and basically we just said, well, do you know what? He's better than all 3 other strikers. He's got the talent. He can lead the line like Crouchy did because he's got the height, but he's got great ground skills. And I just would like to see him. If he can get a couple of goals or something, just show. You're at home, and if we as Spurs fans can just say, come on, Addy, and just say, look, we believe in you. We know you're a good player. Don't boo the guy, because booing, I know it's. You see a player that's earning 170 grand a week, and that's more money than most people, see in about 4 or 5 years, and he's making that every week. You've got to think, well, do you know what? This guy doesn't give a shit. If he's not playing well, doesn't give a shit. Lazy cunt. And it's tempting to do that, but you know what? He's our player. We got to back him. So like I said, I'm hoping that he can, show us, prove me wrong. I don't want Clint Dempsey's back because, again, I don't want to risk Gareth Bale, but if we can, if Clint Dempsey does, is fit, then I definitely would play him. Obviously, having played in the States and everything, and that massive amount of travel, it's going to affect him no matter what people think. And even if you've got like luxury jets, it's an 8 or 9 hour flight. There's jet lag. You have to train, get accommodated. Man, it's not great. And the FIFA virus can take hold. But if Clint Dempsey is fit, I'll go for Clint just coming in, and that's where his natural position was. Actually, he's actually used to play for Fulham, just off that left flank, cutting in. Sigurdsson on the right, and Liz Holtby in the middle, playing a very narrow 3. And so yes, we won't have, say, if Basel do play wingers, it's their wingers against our wing backs, and they can be isolated. But if we can concentrate and narrow that midfield, win that ball in midfield, push up the pitch, that will allow our wing backs to really come in and hopefully give us that width in the overlap. It's been great chatting to you guys as always. So questions for you guys. I know if some of you guys do comment, and I'm sure if I haven't been as quick with my YouTubes as I normally am. First of all, question 1, who do you think are our 3 most important Spurs players? And 2, I know, so I've seen some boards, their Lord looks already, we can get second. This is the thing, look, 2 weeks ago, we were like despondent, fucking Villas-Boas, we're 4th, we're going to end up 5th Europa League, and now we're 3rd, albeit Chelsea have a game in hand. We can get second. Alright, Spurs fans, first of all, I don't want to look too far ahead for next season, because right now it's all about the Basel game, and after the Basel game it's it's Everton. Take one game at a time, and let's just try and win. If we can try and win all our remaining fixtures, which is going to be hard, we have to play Chelsea and Man City, but you know what, why can't we win there? Last season I thought when we went to Chelsea, I thought we were a much better side than home and away. I thought we were the better side, and we didn't get the rub of the green. I'm hoping we get the rub of the green this time, because I think we deserve a result there, but we only deserve a result if we go out there and play against Chelsea the way we played against Swansea for that first 40 minutes, but maintain that for at least the whole 90. And I think with Rafa Benitez, I don't know if he's prioritising the FA Cup. It's a very odd thing, because for me personally, if I knew I was getting fired, then do you know what, I think I don't give a shit about next season, what the club does. I'm all about the now. And I've got the FA Cup and Europa League. If I win those 2, I wonder who will hire me. That's just my motivation. So is he gonna focus on that instead of the league because he knows he's not going to be there next season? Possibly. It's not as if, because Dave said, look, specifically, you are the interim manager. I'm only here to the end of the season. Whereas Di Matteo, not that he didn't know, obviously they had to give him the job, but it's not as if they thought that he was in it. They really wanted Guardiola like crazy, and then basically when Di Matteo was given the job, when I won the European Cup, they had to then give him the job. So it's an interesting thing. So who knows? Maybe Chelsea could implode. Anyway, as always, it's been great chatting to you guys. Please click on the ad links if and when they appear. As always, it's been great chatting to you guys. Shout outs. I'm going to give Steve his first shout out on YouShubes, so I hope he enjoys it. And shout outs to Slevin and Samantha McCarthy and Anna, who followed me on Twitter. And please, like I said, if you want to get involved in YouTubes, give me a shout. It's always great, great. Kevin G has done some with me. Dom's done some as well. And I really appreciate chatting to you guys and just talking about Spurs. Anyway, it's been great chatting to you. And as always, come on, you Spurs!